Alyssa, thinking about the weekend already. The District Attorneys Association is speaking out today about Governor Cuomo's appointment of a special prosecutor to investigate police-involved deaths of unarmed civilians. Governor Cuomo says there's a perceived conflict of interest. Joining us now with a closer look at the issue is our political analyst, Fred Dicker. Fred, the association says the appointment of a special prosecutor is, quote, gravely flawed.
Well, this isn't just a special prosecutor. This is the Attorney General of the state of New York, who the governor has allowed to supersede, to replace every one of the district attorneys in New York, 62 of them. And they signed, or they agreed to, this unprecedented unanimous statement that was put out a little while ago condemning the governor. They used the phrase that the governor's action will harm the cause of justice in New York. To say they're unhappy is an understatement. I've never seen anything quite like this, and there's a lot more that's going to come from it.
And Fred, the issue comes just after the governor announced changes to the SAFE Act last week. What are you hearing from both sides of the aisle about that issue?
Well, there's a whole bunch of concerns out there. Friday night, we touched on it briefly in the Friday broadcast. The governor, out of the blue, said that he had reached an agreement with the Senate Republicans to suspend one section of the SAFE Act. Well, that got condemned from all sides. A lot of Republicans were angry about it because it didn't turn out to be what they thought it was, and Democrats across the board were condemning it. It was an attempt by the governor, as is this action with the district attorneys, to bypass something he tried to get out of the legislature but really couldn't get. And then finally, just to kind of compare it to something else, the governor, as we speak, is also trying to raise the minimum wage for restaurant workers, fast food restaurant workers, who he tried to have given higher wages in the legislature, and he failed again there. So some people, the point I'm trying to make is people are putting the governor's action with the DAs, the governor's action on the SAFE Act, and now with the minimum wage in the context of a governor repeatedly trying to bypass the legislature, and people are wondering if that's appropriate.
All right, Fred Dicker, thank you so much for being with us this evening. And don't forget, you can hear Fred's radio program live from the state capitol every weekday morning from 10 to 11 on Talk 1300 AM.